All right, so Isabel Flores commented on my video about the IRS letter LT38. Link to that video here at the top of the screen. I also got a letter today. I don't want to pay it. My company didn't fix my paperwork, and I only work part-time. Can I contest it? So, Isabel, I'm kind of filling in the blanks here a little bit. And I'm going to assume that what you mean here is that you're an employee working for a company. You filled out a form when you first started working for them, a W-4 form that basically tells them how much to withhold from your paychecks. And maybe there was an error on that form, or maybe you had to update that form, but somehow you gave your company information, either on a W-4 or elsewhere pertaining to your tax withholding, and your company didn't fix it. And this resulted in not enough taxes taken out of your paycheck, and now you owe the IRS because you went and filed your tax return, and it's like, oh, instead of a refund, you owe the IRS because you didn't get enough money taken out of your paycheck throughout the year through tax withholding. This is an unfortunate situation, and it's also unfortunate, Isabel, that in this case, in this particular case, you can't really contest the amount you owe because your employer didn't process the payroll correctly or something like that. Ultimately, the responsibility to make sure that sufficient withholdings are being made or quarterly estimated tax payments are being made falls on the taxpayer themselves. Okay. That said, you do have options. You're not left high and dry. It sounds like maybe this was just for 1 year, maybe for just last year. So I'm hoping it's not a very large amount. Obviously, you don't want to pay it. I mean, no one wants to pay their taxes. Well, I guess some people do, but most people, they don't want to pay their taxes, right? That's money that you can't spend, that you can't invest. But it is something we have to do. If you cannot afford to pay it all right now, then you could look at the major tax resolution options that are available to taxpayers. If this is a relatively small amount and you're making good money, you're probably not going to qualify for some kind of hardship-based resolution like an offer in compromise or a hardship-based payment plan or non-collectible status or something like that. Link to a video about all those tax relief options here at the top of the screen. You'd probably qualify for maybe some kind of short-term or even a long-term payment plan, depending on how much you owe. If the balance is under $10,000 that you owe the IRS, you're actually guaranteed an installment agreement. That's why we don't really work with folks who owe less than $10,000 to the IRS, because there's just not a lot to work with there. The IRS is going to look at most folks in that situation, unless they're very destitute, right? But for most working people, if they owe less than $10,000, the IRS is going to give them a guaranteed installment agreement to pay this debt off over time. And like I said, unless they're very destitute, it's unlikely that the IRS is going to find that they're going to be willing to write something off for someone who makes less than $10,000 and has some form of gainful employment. Okay, I'm not saying it doesn't happen; it does. But like I said, there's just not a whole lot of wiggle room to work with if you owe less than $10,000. But yeah, Isabel, to answer your question directly, you can't really contest your liability on the grounds that your employer did not make sufficient payroll withholdings for you. The IRS would come back and say, well, okay, then because the responsibility still lies with the taxpayer, you should have alerted your employer to the error once you noticed that you were being underwithheld and fix it from there. But because you didn't, you're gonna have to pay this to us some way, somehow. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope this was informative to some of you out there, including Isabel. I do have some other videos here on the left-hand side of the screen. If you owe the IRS or your state at least $10,000 in back taxes, give us a call at Choice Tax Relief, 866-8000-TAX to schedule your free consultation. That's 866-8000-829. Or visit us at choicetaxrelief.com. Fill out the form on our website, and we will reach out to you. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.